Walking Dead. Never before have I ever seen a show suck and rock so hard. I am a fan, but that doesn't mean I won't talk shit about it. Oh, and I will keep the spoilers to a minimum, but there's definitely going to be one or two in here. But the show's been around for some years. Fuck you. Based on a comic by Robert Kirkman, The Walking Dead takes place in a grim future, mostly in the southern state of Georgia, and revolving around Rick and his small group of survivors as they battle both the undead and the remaining parts of humanity to stay alive. It's a show about what happens to people after the world ends. It's like if any zombie movie kept going instead of ending after 90 minutes. Also, the show's full of emotional and inconsistent chatterboxes. What are we gonna do, Rick? Let's talk about our feelings for a couple more episodes. Stupid shit. No one cares that much about their feelings in the zombie apocalypse. You know what? First things first, do you know how goofy it is to remove the word zombie from the equation? The reason for this, according to Kirkman, is this series takes place in a universe where zombies were never imagined. No one has any previous knowledge of anything having to do with zombies. And to that I say, really? That's true for almost any zombie movie. Why would you say no one imagined zombies in the first place? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not a new idea. Hollywood didn't create the idea of zombies. It's been around for a long time. It's biblical. And you do have the Bible in The Walking Dead, so why not zombies? But that's not even a big deal when you consider just how inconsistent everything having to do with them really is. These things are dead and decomposing without strength enough to pull off someone's shoe. Will someone explain to me how one managed to, with its bare hands, rip Dale open in season 2? How the fuck did that happen? Every other walker's hands are too weak to open a bag of potato chips, but this one's like, bring it on. Normal people can't even do that. What kind of sense does it make to let something half mushed up by death do it? That's something else that doesn't make sense. Dale is killed after hearing a deer groaning in the distance. He goes to investigate and sees its guts ripped all open because apparently that's what this super walker can do. He can hunt and kill deer, whatever. He turns to leave and gets jumped by the super walker because hearing a deer from 30 yards out but not being able to hear an undead fuck gurgling and shuffling up behind you makes sense. Sorry, Dale, but you had the dumbest death in the entire show. How does anyone let these loud-ass undead scumlickers creep up on him in the first place? We've seen them overpower a horse a couple times. Shit was dumb, but not as dumb as Carl. Or Coral, as Rick seems to think his name is pronounced. If you haven't seen the show, just know you're going to hate Carl basically the entire time, until he sort of turns into a badass in season 5, but that's a long time to wait. Until then, it's about him getting himself or someone else in trouble. Actually, for a long while, it was Lori letting him get himself or someone else in trouble. Lori was legit the worst mom on television. Too busy begging Rick's best friend behind his back to give a damn. She didn't even know where he was half the time. And you know, if this is how she is when the world is ending and she's supposed to care a little bit more, she must have been a really shit mom back when she can get booze and Starbucks. Anyway, while Lori wanted to be a shit mom, everyone else wants to be a teenage girl and talk about their feelings. Almost every episode is about them feeling some kind of way about something that's happening. Things aren't looking so good. You want to talk about it? Yeah, for about 30 minutes or so. Whoa! Man, that was scary. Something almost happened. We should talk about that too when we get the chance. And at the end of the episode, you get a few minutes of why you actually watched the show in the first place. That's what this show really is. Season 2, talking on a farm. Season 3, talking in a prison. Hell, season 4 has just been walking around talking in the woods. That is damn near the whole season. Every episode ends with the reason to watch the next one. If you took the first and last 5 minutes of each episode and put them all together, it would be beast. I guarantee it. One thing I do like is how they keep a revolving door of black guys on the show. First T-Dog, then that guy from the prison, he didn't last very long. Then Bob, then Tyrese. Now they bring back Super Negro Morgan, so you know something black is gonna die soon. Keeping that horror feature tradition of killing coons alive. Do you remember how I said this show is based on a comic? Good. Read it. I highly suggest it. If you think the show is something, boy howdy, does the comic ever bring it with the brutality. You know how in the show there are good moments, how after a tragedy there's a silver lining? In the comic, there's no good moments. There's no silver lining. It's just shitstorm after shitstorm. They toned it way down for the show. There are things in the comic you will never see in the show. I'm not telling you shit. I'm gonna let some hairy hipster in the comics ruin it for everybody. Damn you hipsters in the comments. Trust me, you want to read this comic, especially now that the show looks like it's about to enter into the next chapter of villain. Fucking Negan. You thought the governor was bad. Fucking fuckity fuck. Fucking Negan. Fuck! If you read the fucking comic, you would fucking get it. Hey, okay, tell us some neat shit about the show. Well, yeah, okay, guy asking to learn some neat shit about the show. You know all the guts and limbs The Walking Dead are voraciously eviscerating? That's ham. Even used to have barbecue sauce on it, but something in the sauce would melt away the makeup, so they had to do away with it. That's right! You vegans aren't welcome as walkers on The Walking Dead. Fucking vegans. Another something about the walkers, while filming, they are completely silent. Editors go back in later to put in all the moans and groans and breathing. They also go back in and remove things like the breathing on cold shoots and blinking. They remove the blinking. Walkers don't blink. Rick Grimes is played by Andrew Lincoln, whose real name is Andrew James Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck, homie! Never in my life have I heard the name Clutterbuck. Good idea changing that last name, pimp. I don't see Clutterbuck surviving the zombie apocalypse for very long. Daryl and Merle are characters created specifically for the show, never appearing in the comics. Merle, who was seen in the prison having a bag of blue meth, a tip of the hat to AMC's other hit show, Breaking Bad, and Daryl, who was just bitten at a convention. Not joking, a fan bit Norman Reedus on the chest, I guess, hard enough to go all safety word on her. What the fuck kind of fan? What the fuck kind of fans, man? Biting people. Shit. Look, this show rules, and I am patiently awaiting its return, and I'm expecting a lot more badass shit. I've done enough feeling, I've paid my dues, I've felt enough feelings. Let's get back to killing shit. Alright, I appreciate that.
Boom! Oh, Clutterbuck.